tell us what NLP is?
NLP is actually a short form for the neuro-linguistic programming. In neuro-linguistic programming, that neuro stands for our nervous system. Nervous system means our senses, ear, eyes, our skin touch, our sensation of smell, olfactory and taste. So these 5 senses, how we take the data that is processed in our mind, and based on the processing in the mind, we give commands for our organs to act. So the whole system for taking the sensory signals towards our brain and motor signals for our different organs, that is called the nervous system. Once the signals are acquired and taken into our mind, these signals are stored and we will retrieve it later. So this storing and retrieving is done in either as pictures or sounds or smell, etc., as well as we use language, words. That is, verbal and non-verbal communication is involved in storing the information and retrieving and then further communicating. So that is the linguistic part of it. Programming is actually a terminology borrowed from the computer field. It means the program, the patterns that we regularly run in our mind, the thought process that is going on. And you know, we are today based on the thoughts of yesterday we had in our mind, and tomorrow, how our tomorrow will be based on the thoughts we run today in our mind. So that patterns, the thought process that is running in our mind is called the programming part. So these 3 put together is the, we call it as a neuro-linguistic programming or NLP.
Okay, fine, sir. How could it be of use to people?
It's very useful to all the people, whether they are professionals, students, doctors, advocates, whatever be the profession. Neuro-linguistic programming is very, very useful for all the people. We are living in a world. Today we cannot achieve anything without interacting with other people. So whenever a human interaction is taking place, whenever there is a human communication taking place, everywhere application of neuro-linguistic program we can see. For example, now we are talking together, and if I have to communicate properly with you, we should be in good rapport. Rapport means I am able to talk to you and you will understand and you will take whatever data is coming from me in a positive sense. Now we see we are in a good rapport. Whenever we say something, you are nodding your head, that is indicating that it is good rapport. So it is like petrol for a car. If petrol is not there, the car cannot go forward. Similarly, if rapport is not there, the communication will not progress very well. So rapport is actually a tool, a technique in neuro-linguistic programming for having a very effective communication with other person, whoever it be, whatever be their profession. If there is a rapport, the communication will go smoothly. If there is no rapport, there will not be any communication. That is one part of the neuro-linguistic programming. Then there are so many applications of neuro-linguistic programming. For example, in our communication, when we take a reality from outside, we are applying our own so many filters. What we get into our mind is a lot of things after filtering. So we have a language programs called linguistic patterns, with which we can always get the deleted information, distorted information, generalized information. Whatever we have stored in mind, the richness of what actually happening outside is lost. by properly questioning, by using the effective words, proper language pattern, the deleted and distorted information can be brought back. That is another important aspect of neuro-linguistic programming. Whenever we want to influence other people thought, NLP is applicable. It is used, this particular aspect of influencing others is used in all fields, in marketing, in sales, in education, all places this is used. For example, NLP techniques are used in advertisements. For example, there is a technique called anchoring, and you can see advertisements. Initially the advertisements bring you to a very happy state, and then they will introduce their product. So a few times when you see that, whenever you see that product, you will feel that happiness, and you will be forced to buy that product. So that's another technique that is called anchoring. So many applications in now this neuro-linguistic programming is called the technology of achievement. It is the study of excellence, and it is actually modeling excellent people so that your performance can be improved.
Sir, how can a teenager make use of NLP techniques?
The age we told as teenage is actually the age from 13 to 19. So this is the time when a lot of changes are taking place in the people. They will be having growth hormones will be produced during that period. So it affects their emotional states, and physically as well as mentally a lot of changes are taking place. And this is the time when they make very, very important decisions in their life. Which career they have to go, which subject they have to learn. All these actions are being taken during this period. So to get them enough confidence, enough courage, then building their self-esteem, all these are provided by NLP techniques. NLP is very, very effective in teenagers. They can master these techniques, and it will help them to take important decisions. Their self-esteem will improve, their confidence will improve. These are the time then where they have to study a lot. Their ability to learn will improve, their memory power will improve. So much improvements they can have in their life having neuro-linguistic programming techniques.
Should persons get trained in NLP?
It is not a matter of how often. It is learning and mastering the neuro-linguistic programming techniques, its procedures, its process, and things like that. Once you learn and once you master this neuro-linguistic programming, you will actually transform your life from your old life to a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at world. You will see a lot of opportunities and a lot of choices and options when you learn and master neuro-linguistic programming. Once you learn and master neuro-linguistic programming, then there is no way of forgetting and again undergoing another training. So often is not a question. How you master and your excellence in that field improve, and apply the neuro-linguistic programming techniques as and when required. That is what is required.
Have books on NLP been so popular?
Neuro-linguistic programming is comparatively it's a recent process. It started the development in the field of neuro-linguistic programming. It's around 1970 to 1980s. The development started. Now it is in the almost matured stage. and the popularity of neuro-linguistic programming is increasing nowadays. There are a lot of good trainers who are able to train, impart training.
Sir, the popularity of any training program, we should say, when it meets the needs of majority. I have heard these programs are pretty expensive. Is it within the reach of the various age groups, so to say?
The question of expensiveness, it is relative. The results you get from undergoing the training, compared to that, the expenses involved are not that high. Of course, initially the training programs were really expensive, because we from our country there were no very good experts in the field. But nowadays the things have changed. There are excellent trainers from our country who are not charging very high fees. It is very much affordable nowadays, and usually they charge only nominal fee to meet the expenditure of imparting a training. Nowadays any training is little expensive. Compared to all those training, this is not extra expensive. Any training has got certain expenses, that also comes to this also.
Okay.
It is really very cost effective. Compared to the results it produces, the NLP programs are very reasonably
Very
charged.
well. Is there any specific age for getting trained in NLP?
This is neuro-linguistic programming is for all. There is no specific age group. From age of 75, even still you can go and master neuro-linguistic programming, and the rest of your life these techniques definitely will help you. And similarly, if it is for youngsters, it is extremely useful, because they have a very long life after that. Even for kids from 7-8 years onwards, these techniques, I will say, in schools we should have a program to give training to all the students on neuro-linguistic programming techniques. I will not say they have to be given training on neuro-linguistic programming. There are many areas of neuro-linguistic programming which can be straight away taught to the children, and that will become a day-to-day part of their life. In fact, if you look in schools, we teach children the subjects. We don't teach them, really we don't teach them how to learn. One example I am taking, a neuro-linguistic programming actually teaches them how to learn. That helps them to improve their performance in schools and in their exams. And another thing is, these children, one major lacuna but we have observed in children are lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, how to face an expert in an interview board, how to face a group of people. These are the problems children are having. Similarly, they lack experience in life skills. Life skills means a communication skill, interpersonal skills, then a decision making skills. These are all things which the students should be given a training. NLP does that. So once they learn NLP, they get proficiency in all the life skills. That is the beauty of a neuro-linguistic program.
Sir, one last question. What is the motivation for you to pursue this area?
I have seen in my life very educated people with very high qualification, doctorates, with multiple masters. In spite of all these academic qualifications, I have seen these people are not coming to the highest positions in their life. I according to me, they have not achieved much in their life compared to their qualifications. I found not only that academic qualifications that affects the person's growth in their professional field and in the public life. There are something more than that. That I understood and I pursued. What are all those skills, actually people skills, what is required for a person to come up in life. Actually we communicate to other people as well as we communicate to ourselves also. So that communication is also very important. Actually that communication brings our potential into action. Having potential is of no use unless we put that into action. So I have found the NLP techniques are extremely useful for bringing out our potential. Actually there is a book titled Awaken the Giant Within You. Actually we are all having a lot of potential. We are all giants and we are all lions within us. In fact those capabilities are not brought out. Actually what neuro-linguistic programming is doing is all those potentials are made visible and that potential is brought into action. Actually it is flowing and in that flow it produces excellent results. So this have prompted me to learn what is neuro-linguistic programming, how this can be applied to personal growth of all the people, children, those professionals who are in the working field. That is what made me pursue this.
Excellent, sir. So it has been a very fruitful session. We would like to know more about it on another occasion.
Thank
so
you.
I wish you all the best, sir.